You have no idea the way things are actually going to unfold when it comes to the actual month of April 2022. But specifically, I want you to understand, and I need you to realize that especially the actual period in between the 1st of April and the 17th of April is going to answer a huge, massive, enormous question. And you will know what this question is. After that moment in time, there is so much that it's going to become obvious to you what it wasn't as obvious before, but you've kind of felt it. You felt it really deep within, and that in itself is also going to make you aware of the fact how psychic you are, how open you are spiritually, and how much you can be aware of things happening around you on a much higher level, on a much higher dimension. You know, it's like you will realize that you are more powerful than you could possibly imagine, and that in itself it's going to pretty much so resolve in a very kind of like a beautiful and emotional experience, because at the same time you need this burst of emotions to actually reflect on your life in such a way. When we reach a certain moment and a certain point in our lives, and it's a lot to do with our spiritual journey, and it's a lot to do with karma, we must really pretty much so, we must most certainly and most importantly reflect on the things that we have done, and reflect on the things that we achieved most importantly over the last 24 months. This for you, my gorgeous Virgolini, at this moment in time, it's going to be more important than ever, because as soon as you give a credit to yourself, as soon as you reflect on the pathway, on the very sacred pathway that is very closely connected to you, and pretty much so it's to do with the last 24 months, but it's also to do with the moment that it's going to appear after the first 17 days of April 2022. And that in itself is pretty much so going to make you like stand very firmly on the ground, and it is just almost immediately you will become aware of the certain part of your life becoming, and you know, like taking over. The priorities are slightly going to change, because at the same time something quite unusual is going to happen, which is going to slightly redirect you, but only in terms of the actual responsibilities in your life. So it's all about seeing what is actually taking priority, because you must understand, my gorgeous Virgolinis, this is so important for you to understand that the second stage of this important period is going to be in between the 17th of April and the end of that month. This is the time when you need to establish very powerful connection with yourself, and the way to establish a very powerful connection with yourself is to basically put your foot down, because you must realize that, you know, someone is still kind of trying to take an advantage of you. Someone is trying to take an advantage of your goodness. Someone is trying to take an advantage of your like emotions, of your feelings, because you, my gorgeous Virgolinis, are very emotional, you're very powerful, you're very in tune with so much around you. But sometimes, you know, like being an empath like this, certain people can take this in the wrong way, where this is like your very strong power. There's certain people who haven't got good like things in their mind, like for example the certain things who are just the certain people who or the certain person who is just kind of like thinking about themselves quite a lot, but in this process in time, with their own selfishness, they have like kind of forgot the fact that you are probably, you know, pretty much so highlighted here, because you must understand understand that you kind of need to understand and realize who is trying to take a little bit of advantage from you. And that in itself is going to become evident and obvious within the 17th of April and the end of that month. I'm telling you that this is really important because by the time you actually get to the 30th of April 2022, there is going to be a very important decision that you are going to make. And that decision is going to come out of all these things that I've said so far. You must think about yourself. You must put yourself first, okay? Because this is what you really need to do. So this is the way you protect yourself. You protect your energy. You protect your power. You protect your vibration. But also you need to protect what is yours. So the actual journey, you know, there is a journey that you're going to have on the 30th of April. That journey is just pretty much so going to be connected to the second stage of all this that I have been talking about. Because in order to protect what's yours, in order to protect yourself, in order to put your foot down, you know, you at the same time, there is going to be a certain journey that is going to be connected to this. So whether that journey is going to become obvious by the actual 30th of April 2022, but that journey is going to be needed. And when I say journey, you know, it could be just like a travel somewhere. It could be like maybe just a place nearby. It could be like going somewhere where you don't normally go to. However, this is going to be important because as soon as you kind of like start process with that specific journey, there are other things that are going to come to you. The certain possibilities are just going to come to you out of the blue just because you're doing the right thing. You must, my gorgeous Virgolini, remember to not let anyone to take an advantage of you, because I also think that certain things have taken place. I mean, this is actually going back to the last year. This is going back to the actual August 2021. All this started at around the actual August 2021, but now it has taken a long time. And even if you're not realize what this is, even if you're not realize who am I talking about, don't worry, because in between the 17th of April at the end of that month, you know, this mask is gonna be fallen. The little snakey is gonna come out, and it's going to be absolutely impossible not to notice, because you know, as soon as you put your foot down, when I say you put your foot down, you have to think about yourself first, and you have to like kind of distinguish and see where this is coming from, because I mean, I'm not trying to be like a dark Lala or something like that, but someone is just trying to kind of like maybe not lie a little bit to you, but it is a bit of like someone is not being completely honest to you, and someone is not saying this whole truth to you about something very specific and very important in your life that means to you so much. And by doing this, you are kind of like a bit of a stuck in a limbo at this moment in time, but you know that something is not right, you know, and this is why when we are stuck in a limbo a little bit, you know, the certain people can take an advantage of us, because they know and they see certain things in a slightly different way, in a slightly different light. You see through your own goodness, and you do things that you think that you should be doing at this moment in time. But what these other people are doing, they're trying to like kind of take an advantage of you by hiding the certain informations. And it's also a lot to do with the people who are very hypocritical, like so hypocritical, like there is no tomorrow. So it's important for you to understand. So when I say that you need to put your foot down, it's all about like pretty much so trying to see and trying to feel through the power of this absolutely incredible vibration that we are going to have throughout April, to see and try to establish who these people are or who this person is. This is very important, because I will tell you why. Because May and June 2022 are all going to be revolved around this. So remember, when I say that you need to put your foot down, sometimes we need to deal with the people who we don't want to deal. Sometimes we have to express ourselves a little bit harshly. I'm not saying to be harsh, I'm not saying to fight, or I'm not saying to argue. Please don't get me wrong. But it's all about putting your points across. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. Don't allow yourself to do something that you may feel really sorry later on. But you knew, like subconsciously, you know that something may not be right. So even if you don't know what am I talking about, in between the 17th of April and the end of that month, this is indeed going to become obvious. And I'm saying that this is so important, not only because this is going to be like an integral part of your spiritual journey in general, but it's to do with May, it's to do with June. This is all going to be like, oh my God, shining really brightly when it comes to May and June. Why? Do you know why? Because it's to do with one of the biggest steps of your lives that you are about to make. And before that happens, you must be true to yourself. Okay? You have to follow your intuition, but also it's going to involve an important conversation with the person or with the people who you just don't want to talk about. And my advice is, keep it cool, baby. Keep it down. Keep it low. With a big, beautiful, gorgeous smile on your face, and just keep going. Do not let your energy to be stolen from people who don't mean absolutely anything to you, especially when you are 100% right. Hello, my gorgeous Virgolinis. My name is Sasha Bonasin, my gorgeous Virgo. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium. And this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Virgo. And it's for April 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Virgolini, and it's for April 2022. When it comes to that amazing number, but before I go to an amazing number, do you know what, my gorgeous Virgolinis, is for the first time in a long time, you're gonna feel something that you haven't felt in terms of the very powerful vibration. And this powerful vibration, it's not only going to start on the very 1st of April. No, baby, no. This powerful vibration, it's already starting like 7 days before the actual 1st of April. So already exactly 7 days before the beginning of April, you will feel like pretty much so lots of energy. You know, and this energy is gonna, when I say lots of energy, it's just gonna be literally energy. Like suddenly you're gonna find yourself like being able to do quite a lot. Suddenly you're gonna be able to achieve quite a lot in terms of your own personal energy. But at the same time, what this wonderful vibration is gonna do is just suddenly you're gonna feel inspired. Inspiration is absolutely everything, because this inspiration is also at the same time gonna start opening you up. It's gonna start like it's gonna start bringing you back to your spirit. It's gonna bring you back to your soul. It's gonna bring you back to your own spiritual home within. This is important because within we have everything we need. We have an absolute knowledge of many lifetimes, as long as we allow this to come into our dimension. So it's just very important. My goodness, you know, there is a lot that it's going to be answered to you 7 days before the 1st of April, and then from the 1st of April onwards, you know, a lot is going to be answered to you in the terms of inspiration. My God, follow it, because suddenly where, you know, the elements and parts of your lives where you were just like, oh God, oh, I'm not too sure, I don't know, where you were just like that, you were just like a little bit stuck, and this is nothing unusual, because you had to go over a certain, like a limit within your spiritual journey in order to reach this certain point, which means that you have found out enough, like that you needed to find out on this particular spiritual path. This is important because you have been prepared for this for a very long time indeed. So this is like a God's blessing, it's like a God's gift, and you will be able to see the difference. It's not only an inspiration, like, oh yeah, I feel great, baby. Not only inspiration, but it's the actual inspiration to do things and to to deal with the problems that before, you know, you were just like, oh God, it would drain your energy as soon as you think about it. So now you're going to be able to see where this wonderful difference is coming from. So when you have this bursts of inspiration throughout the actual April, my lordy lord, pay attention to pretty much so what is going to come to you, because something important is going to be answered to you on the 1st of April, on the 11th of April, and on the 21st of April. You know, you need to remember these 3 days, because something so specific and so important is going to be answered to you again in terms of inspiration. This is to do with your calling. You're going to feel your own calling, and especially when it comes to the 11th of April, this is a big mama. When it comes to your own calling, just pay attention to this, because this is so important, okay? Because this is something that, you know, it's just gonna really kind of ring differently within you. It's gonna make you feel differently. I'm talking about the gorgeous spiritual butterflies, but at the same time I'm talking about the feeling and vibration you haven't felt in an absolute ages. So in terms of inspiration, 11th in particular, the actual 1st, 11th and the 21st of April, but the 11th is going to be like, oh my God, because it's a lot to do with you knowing that you're on the right path, but it's also to do with you just suddenly realizing how much you've changed and how special you are and how beautiful you are and how important you are in other people's eyes. And this is going to mean to you so much, because by you understanding and realizing how important you are in other people's lives, this is also going to really be super beneficial when it comes to you kind of getting that spiritual petrol, and you're just kind of getting little confirmations in your own way, okay? Very important indeed. So this month the energy is going to be different, the vibration is going to be different, and you have got number 7070 in numerology, and that means, my lord, that right at the beginning of this month there is also going to be the specific information that you're going to have. This specific information is just like pretty much on not to do with your own life, not to do, I mean, yeah, it does affect your life big time, oh my God, like a big mama. It does affect your life like there is no tomorrow, but it's to do with something else, you know, it's to do with something on the outside, a very specific information that you're going to have. And this inspiration is going to, the information that you're going to have, an information about certain things that you have been worrying about so much, certain things that became way too dark for your own likings. So there is a very important information that you are going to have at the beginning of April. And that important information is going to be everything, because the big stone, massive stone, is going to fall off your chest. You know, a big massive weight is going to be lifted off your shoulders, because this was affecting you so much. It's nothing to do with your life, like in particular, but it was affecting you. So yes, this had a lot to do with your life. So it's about the specific information, and this is you're gonna be like, oh my God, you're gonna be like, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's how you're going to be, my gorgeous Virgolini. You're going to be whole hallelujah, because this is going to mean to you so much. This information is going to be everything. Absolutely brilliant. And almost immediately there is going to be the sense of wonder. Almost immediately there's going to be this sense of like you want to kind of find out a bit more about something that you wanted to do for a long time, because now you're going to be able to do this. You know, this is brilliant. Spiritually, this is going to be fantastic, because you're about to set yourself free. So this is why this is going to be so important, because almost immediately the energy is going to be so much lighter. This is going to be huge, my gorgeous Virgolinis, and you will see what I mean. Finally, I'm not saying everything is going to be like pink, blue and purple, beautiful, blah blah blah, like gorgeous, like a blah blah blah. No baby, no. I'm just saying one specific information is just going to really, it's going to start changing everything. It's going to help you so much to come on top of the negativity and sadness that you have been through, that was just really worrying you and making you feel really negative and just like took so much energy out of you over the last 36 months. So of course that this is going to be good. Almost that very second, you're just going to find yourself like planning, pam, 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 when it comes to like the actual near future. So my gorgeous Virgolinis, this is big. On another hand, number 70 also means that you are going to have a really beautiful spiritual experience. And this is why I'm saying a beautiful spiritual experience you are going to have this month, but especially when it comes to the actual 7th of April and the 17th of April. 7th of April and the 17th of April, there is a lot going to be answered to you as well, in particular when it comes to like looking back on what you have achieved so far and setting new goals. 7th and the 17th of April, just remember, this is going to be a very spiritual moment for you, because it's going to kind of like a really, you're going to feel very drawn suddenly as well to look the certain things that you have done, and something is going to be highlighted about your own success, and you're going to like it so much, because you will need this little bit of praise of your own accomplishment at this moment in time. But then again, you have got the 27th again, so you've got like the 7th, the 17th, and on the 27th, you are most certainly going to find yourself already like kind of like, oh my God, like really in a quite big anticipation here when it comes to your wonder, when it comes to your curiosity. You will just want to know more, you will just want to find out more. It's all to do with like a new little journey in your life. But then again, you need to remember to just kind of like to be on one hand careful in terms of like not expect everything to happen immediately. It's the best things happen one step at a time. But also on another hand, it's about this miraculous, mind-blowing big mama potential. The 27th of April is going to show you the exact potential that you need to know, and that in itself is just like a really it's going to make you feel alive again, because it's to do with your own devotion, it's to do with what you like doing, it's to do with like how you like expressing yourself. Just remember, my gorgeous Virgolini, of course you're going to feel good. Your passion is your power is your passion. Take it, baby, wherever you want to take it. Do with what you do with your life, whatever you want to do with your life. Don't ask Mary, Jane, or Rob or John, oh, do you think I should do this, do you think I should do that? No, baby, no, because you're like giving your power away by like kind of like a really opening yourself up to maybe wrong people who just give you their own ideas, and then that just makes things even more kind of difficult for you. So now it's pretty much so for you to trust your own intuition like so much. You need to understand you're very special, you're really kind of and that is going to be obvious before the end of this month, because there is also going to be another quite unusual experience that is going to open your eyes, but it's also going to make you aware that you are so special, that you are very different in the best possible way, in terms of knowing, understanding things that are not even there yet, before they even happen. My Lord, this is going to be so big for you. But pretty much so, it's just going to lead towards your own devotion. Just remember, your passion is your power. And now just please try to plan as much as you can how you can make your life better. What would you need to do? What can you offer? What can you add? It's to do with your specific journey, but it's also to do with your own passion and understanding that it's all about you being loyal to yourself and offering certain services and efforts towards something very specific. And this is why I say that it's important to think about yourself, because you first think about yourself, because you're going to do something really big here, you're going to do something really huge here, and this is like an amazing, mind-blowing, miraculous starting point. As I said, baby, it's like you've got a May and June that are going to be very strongly connected to what is happening right now. So this is why this is going to be so important. You have to trust yourself, but also you need to understand that there is the part that you need to change a little bit. whatever you are doing, wherever you are. For example, like if you're looking for work, you know, this is, if you're looking for a job now, this is going to be big, this is going to be really important, it's all going to have a very strong connection. And if you're retired, for example, also it's to do with a very significant aspect of your life that is slowly coming in, and it's going to be impossible to ignore when it comes to you realizing, oh, I need to do a bit more here, I need to put a bit more effort here, I need to like a kind of to transfer a bit more energy into this place, into something. But then again, it's going to resolve in wherever you are in your life, whatever you're doing, whatever you're focusing on, this is going to resolve to the same thing. Remember, it's to do with your passion, it's to do with who you are, it's to do with things that you love doing in order to kind of express yourself, but also it's going to boil down to the same thing, a deep concentration and application when it comes to studying, and when it comes to your own reflection. This is going to take you to realize to the path where you know there is a certain respect for knowledge that it's going to become absolutely obvious through your own desire. Okay, so this in itself is going to be brilliant, because it's at the same time it's going to give you a really interesting idea, and then you're just going to be like, oh my god, that is going to be connected to an interesting idea that is going to be obvious by the end of this month. And then suddenly you're going to have like okay, I'm not too sure, something is just going to be like, oh, I'm not too sure whether this is too big step to make, blah blah blah. No baby, no, you will have a bit of a hermit moment here, and the hermit moment is just going to kind of last day or two, where you're going to like really feel withdrawn, and you will feel like you want to be by yourself a little bit. And this is when our mind just extends into all sorts of different dimensions, but in return we understand so much more about our own path. We understand so much more about our own path. We're always going to understand so much more about our own path than like maybe somebody else, for example. So this in itself is going to make you realize, this hermit moment, you know, it will provide you with an important key, and that key that you're going to be provided with, it's also going to be pretty much so, it's going to make you almost immediately active, and it's going to like kind of also like a basically, it's going to make you realize that you want to recover it's something that is lost. Very strange, very strong urge, very strong desire to recover what is lost. Just remember this. This is so important, my gorgeous Virgolinis. I'm going to say it again. It is going to lead towards a very strong desire to recover what is lost. And now I just have a feeling that I need to shuffle this card when it comes to the desire to recover what is lost, my gorgeous Virgolinis. So I'm just going to take this card out. Okay, Page of Cups. Well, there you go. You see, so this pretty much so it's going to start a very important process. You need to understand, to be honest with yourself, but you also need to understand that, you know, you just by realizing this, something is already beginning, something is already starting. There is going to be a very important information that you are going to get at the same time, and that information that you are going to get at the same time, it's going to open your eyes, but it's most certainly going to signal the beginning of an important change. Okay, this is going to make you feel so good, you know, with yourself, but at the same time, you know, it's just going to answer an important little question to you that was still kind of holding you down. So it's all about you understanding that this is the beginning of transition, change, and also now suddenly you're going to feel very bored with an aspect of your life that was like making you bored for a while now, especially for the last 12 months in particular. So now you will establish what this is. You will want to abandon this part of your life because you will understand that this slowly came to an end. But even more so, this is going to lead towards a certain sacrifice, and the sacrifice that I'm talking about, it's going to come in form of you being yourself, in form of you acting the way you need to act. And I'm not saying that you're not acting the way you need to act, but sometimes there are certain people that are like around us. Remember what I said at the beginning of this reading. Sometimes there are certain people that are around us, they steal our vibration and energy because they're so strange, they're so strong, they're so bizarre, they're so dark, and we just can't believe that they're so dark, but without us realizing they're just like kind of like a very much of their energy vampires, so they can manipulate us in this particular particular way. So there are going to be quite a few of them throughout this month, and your sacrifice is going to come, my gorgeous Virgolini. I know it sounds weird, but the sacrifice is going to come in form of you doing exactly what you want to do throughout the month. I'm not saying that you're not doing what you want to do, but I'm just saying to pay attention when you're surrounded by the people that have got a very difficult and heavy energy, and then we talk about something important, and then they're manipulating us in this energetic way without us even realizing. Then when we go home, we are like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, and we can make fundamental mistakes in our lives like this. And in order to avoid this, my gorgeous Virgolinis, I'm telling you right now that your sacrifice would be to basically just like kind of like sometimes you have to, if you have to put your foot down, put your foot down, but it just needs to be done in such a way where you don't hurt anyone else, or you don't like kind of like show exactly how you feel or what you know. You just need to kind of like really pretty much so come up with a little plan how you're going to do this, how you're going to put your point across without kind of pissing someone off or without upsetting someone, okay, like basically, and things like that. So that in itself is going to give you a strong control over a situation, strength and courage, and it's almost immediately going to rejuvenate you. So in terms of energy, you will be almost immediately kind of like directed through your own determination, towards the certain actions in your life. But you will know, because now you're going to feel very confident, and whatever you suddenly feel very confident about, you can do this. Of course you can, baby. That in itself, it's also going to bring you not only accomplishment in general when it comes to beautiful healing entering your life, peace, beautiful energy, joyful energy and things like that, but it's also at the same time going to bring you like pretty much so very strong time when it comes to your personal security and when it comes to your future. By doing the right thing now, you're also going to do something very luxurious for yourself when it comes to your future. And it's pretty much so also going to be an important this is the time of practical knowledge quite a lot, with things that you love doing and love like expressing yourself with. That will be ringing very far. It will be going very far in terms of the actual universe, because what is going to happen is you are, through your own practical knowledge, it's going to bring you very important negotiation before the end of the month. Your practical knowledge is going to bring you a very important negotiation before the end of this month, and then something is going to take an additional 3 months until it blows up like a big mama. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7. So July 2022, you will thank yourself in July 2022, because July 2022 it's going to explode in the best possible way. There is so much that is going to happen to you by then, at that moment in time, but it's all going to start here. It's brilliant. And also when it comes to that negotiation, just remember this, that there is going to be very interesting advice that you are going to get just before that negotiation, that is just going to be playing an important role here. With you kind of like really knowing something that you didn't know before. Okay, so now my gorgeous Virgolinis, I'm just gonna see like when it comes to your like a health and things like that, it is very important for you as well. Try to, I know I said this before, but I can see a little bit of negativity and the blockage when it comes to your stomach and when it comes to your digestion, but I'm really pretty much so seeing primarily the actual sugar and sweets and things like that. This is something that you're going to find very difficult. Try to avoid this as much as you possibly can. If you feel like sweets and things like that, try to eat throughout this month the actual fruit, maybe organic fruit, for example. And also, like I know I said this millions of times, but I'm going to say it again. If you cut out sugar completely, like I do not take sugar whatsoever. I cut out sugar a long time ago and I feel so much better. So try to maybe replace sugar with organic honey, organic maple syrup. It's very important, you see, so you don't kind of like take sugar. And also if you feel like sweets and things like that, try to have like a dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is actually really good for you, because like for so many other things as well. But at this moment in time, the higher cocoa content is, the better the actual chocolate is, dark chocolate is. But then again, at the same time, it's not as sweet as like a normal chocolate that we are kind of used to. But then again, it gives you that bit of a sweetness, and then at the same time it just kind of makes you feel better, like about yourself as well, because you know that you're doing something for yourself that it's actually ultimately going to be so much better when it comes to your health in general. So this is what I would do, and try to completely cut out, because of the negativity in your, because of a little blockage in your digestion, try to cut out squashes, juices, as much as you can, but completely would be ideal. And try to drink like a natural water. Natural water would be absolutely everything, alongside my gorgeous Virgolini organic dandelion tea, because this is going to help you to flush out the toxins, and organic chamomile as well. These are brilliant teas with a little bit of organic honey, or a little bit of organic maple syrup, and just a little bit of like a organic, like unwaxed lemon as well. Like, my lord, it tastes delicious. But at this time, this is important, because it's going to help you to get rid of the negative energy in terms of that blockage in stomach. And it's happening. March and April are both very important when it comes to the changes. Everything is changing. The energy is changing. The nature is changing. We are changing. We're all part of one another. So we just go with this powerful vibration at the same time. So this is why it's really important to do this at this moment in time. But also, like, kind of as I said, organic chamomile, organic like dandelion tea are just going to help you to flush out the toxins out of the system. And you will see, as soon as you have like a cup of organic chamomile, organic dandelion tea, you will see, like, you will feel like so much better just by drinking it. But then again, 10 to 15 minutes later, you're just gonna feel like a bit more energized than you normally would feel if you had a different drink, you see. So this is what I'm trying to say. And then on another hand, also when it comes to like a basically meditation and things like that, this is, again, April is a big month to just go out. And don't forget that we have got a very strong connection when it comes to the nature. Try to sit by the river, try to sit by the water, try to meditate a little bit, because it's going to clear a lot within, but also it's going to help you to see things that you're not currently seeing. So this is something interesting when you least expect it. So let's say you're sitting in the forest, you're chilling out, and when you least expect it, you just wander off, you just think about, oh, what a beautiful leaf, and then suddenly something comes to you. Oh my God, I really need to make this journey. Oh my God, I really need to make this trip. Oh my God, I really need to do this. It's like it's just going to come to you like this, and it's going to be so strong and magnetic, it's going to be impossible not to notice. So this is like a must when it comes to this April, and when it comes to you, my gorgeous Virgolinis, indeed. So now I'm just going to see what is the first date that I would like to talk about. It's going to be the 3rd of April. But before I go there, I would highly recommend you this. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. Again, one of the most beautiful pendants. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very strong, it's very powerful, it's very grounding. It makes me feel so much better as soon as I'm holding it like this. It helps you so much to come out of yourself. It helps you so much to communicate. It helps you to sharpen yourself up, and it helps you with that powerful energy of consistency, where you just need to stay consistent and give the most, like, to your spiritual journey, or to the path that you're currently on, because it helps you, like, kind of to make decisions when you are indecisive. And not only that, it helps you to make the right decision. It attracts prosperity. It's a fantastic for a good luck, and it's absolutely brilliant when it comes to the success, when it comes to planning, when it comes to your future, when it comes to you trying to do something so important and so significant to you, for yourself, because it helps you to come out of yourself, and then therefore your energy is so much more powerful. Whatever you start doing new, you find you're able to kind of like remember so much more when you're wearing this powerful crystal. You remember you remember so much more. And this is important when it comes to that information stored within, that helps us later on to make the best possible decisions in our lives. It's fantastic when it comes to encouragement, because it encourages us when we are uncertain. It encourages us when it's basically it encourages positive and constructive self-reflection, and also it increases physical energy, but at the same time it's good for blood and circulation. This is brilliant because you know a lot is going to be going on, so some throughout the months of April and May. So something like this is like a God's gift, it's like a blessing to really have, because at the same time it really kind of like it really kind of keeps us on the right level, you know, without having deflated energy and without giving our power away, and also at the same time attracting like a good luck and a prosperity into our lives. This gorgeous pendant is called Chrome Chalcedony, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say that, so thank you very much for that, my gorgeous Virgolinis. So to buy this, the link is in the description of this video below, right at the bottom. So now the very first date is going to be on the 3rd of the actual April. Like, my God, you know, on the 1st of April and 2nd of April, you're going to already feel something. Oh my God, something is going to happen, something is going to come up, but you will not be able to explain what this is, you know, but you will know that something is coming. You will know that something is about to happen. And by the time you get to the 3rd of April, you know, oh my God, I'm not going to lie to you, there is going to be very unusual situation here that is going to throw you out of the balance, a bit of a tower situation. So the certain situation is going to, oh my God, really surprise you. It's going to throw you out of the balance, and that in itself is going to make you think, that in itself is going to make you wonder, that is in itself it's really going to confuse you a little bit, and it's really going to make you feel like a little bit negative. But then at the same time, this is also kind of going to really kind of make you realize that the certain plans are going to need to change. This in itself is going to open your, first you're going to worry a little bit, but then again, the more you worry about it, the more you're going to become aware of something else, you know, the certain situation that you do not want to be part of, because you're going to become aware of someone's sadness and negativity and darkness and worrying, and you will not want to be part of this. You will not want to be this dark. You will not want to be this negative. You will not want your life to be like this. So you know what, here you're gonna realize, you know what, like, this is brilliant. I don't want my life to be like this. So this is only gonna work really great for you and for your own example. Something is gonna happen on the outside, and that you're gonna be able to use as an example, because it's gonna remind you of the specific part of your life that happened and unfolded within the last 24 months, where you blamed yourself, like that you made a certain mistake. And this is brilliant. Look at this. You blamed yourself that you made a certain mistake, and look, and I just had a feeling that I need to take a card out, you see, and this is going to pretty much, so that came out, there you go, you see, and then you're going to realize, oh my God, it's all on me. You're going to realize, I can do this. Oh my God, you're going to realize your own power. Something is going to come up, and you will realize that all along you could have done this, but it doesn't really matter. Don't blame yourself. You will see it as a little mistake, but it's going to come out like this. You will realize that you're the one who's just going to take this off your eyes, you see, and you will, and as soon as you do that, it's just like, you know, there is so much going to change. Your life is about to change. So this is brilliant. You see how amazingly this is going to work for you, because it's going to make you aware of your own power through your own strength. You're going to realize that an important answer is within. It always has been, but because of the darkness of the outside, you know, it just like kind of twists our minds a little bit. So now your mind is about to be untwisted. So my gorgeous Virgolinis, this is like pretty much so gonna lead towards you feeling actually very enthusiastic, and then suddenly it's a certain initiative it's gonna come out of it, and that initiative, it's gonna make you realize that there is a new element about to manifest in your life, and that it's all connected to unlimited possibilities. I really like it so much, because at the same time it's going to bring you security and safety and financial prosperity in so many different ways, but also it's going to be connected to the certain family matters, family problem that you're also at the same time going to need to kind of resolve. It's important for me to say this, because you're going to find this something a little bit difficult, but then again at the same time it's all about your own serene knowledge, because you are gonna, realize that you need to do this, and this is gonna help to you, but it's also gonna help to a certain family member or family members, because you're about to find something really important. You're gonna realize something really important, and you need to share that with your family or your family members and people who mean to you so much. It's almost like a little gorgeous, beautiful, amazing golden formula that you are going to have here with your own life, that you need to share with the people who are the most important to you, who are the most closer to you. But also don't forget that there is a certain family difficulty that you are going to have as well. And do you know what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Virgolinis? It's like basically you have learned something so important over the last 36 months. You have learned something so important. And what you have learned is just like now going to give you the power and ability to actually be practical and analytical. The certain hidden emotion is going to come to the surface. And all this is going to come to you through your own experience you have been through over the last 24 months in particular. It's about you understanding and knowing that the answers are within. They have been all this time. But then again, we need to get to the certain part of our spiritual journey, to the certain point when we can face this. Okay, so now the next important date, my gorgeous Virgolinis, and before I go there, I also have another. It's called a faceted pregnant. Look how beautiful this is. Absolutely gorgeous. Also very powerful. It helps you to open up. It helps you to like kind of enhance the power of your third psychic eye. It helps you to like kind of like come home to yourself. It helps you to realize how powerful you are. It helps you to like kind of know things and understand things, and it helps you to be prepared for things before they actually happen, because you feel drawn only towards those things that you should be paying attention to, opposed to so many other things happening and things like that. But on another hand, this enhances precognition, okay, and inner knowing. This is something that will be absolutely super important to have throughout April, May, and June, especially because it will enable you to always be prepared, but at the same time it calms the environment. You're gonna come across lots of confused people. You're going to come across lots of strange people. You're going to come across certain people that you will think there's something not right with them. That's fine. We can understand this. We can go through this in life. It just helps us to understand how unique and how beautiful and how powerful we are. But at the same time, they create this very unusual energy and vibration that clouds our own path a little bit. So this is something that almost immediately kind of like really clears the energy around you. But also, it just helps you to kind of understand the certain points about certain people, the certain points about a certain situation, before they happen, and when you're making big decisions and things like that. This is a must. Every single time when you want to protect yourself, every single time when you want to know a little bit more, every single time when you're doing something specific but you're unsure if you're doing the right thing, or if you're unsure if you have all the right answers, this sharpens you up almost immediately. This is a very, very powerful crystal, and it's different to all the other crystals. Trust me, it is a very powerful crystal to wear, and as soon as you put it on, I can tell you that there is the sense of security that you will have that you've never felt before. This gorgeous pendant comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say that, so thank you very much. Okay, the second important date, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's going to be in between the 19th and the 22nd of April. So I really like this. A very important news, very important message. It's to do, first of all, it's going to be very important news and message, and that is going to like pretty much so going to make you aware that you will know what to do with a certain problem. It's going to lead towards the resolution of the certain problem when it comes to the conclusion. And this is going to mean to you so much because it's going to be connected to the powerful process of healing. Very powerful process of healing is going to take place, which is on another hand going to lead towards you realizing that there is going to be a very powerful compromise that you're going to need to make, you're going to need to do. But this powerful compromise, you know, at the same time, it's all about you following your own inspiration. On one hand, you're going to feel very artistic at this moment in time because of this wonderful energy, but on another hand, you just have to pay attention to your own inspiration, because it's going to answer to you quite a lot, and it's going to bring you the greatest worldly power. It's going to bring you an amazing accomplishment, and it's so that inspiration that I'm talking about. It's going to bring you an amazing accomplishment. It's going to bring you really great stability and an important authority at this moment in time. That in itself, my gorgeous Virgolinis, it's also in between the 19th and the 22nd of April. You know, you need to remember to be patient, because on one hand, this is to do with an aspect of your life that is going to take a time to actually unfold. But on another hand, you know, you have been patient. You have been patient. Look, I will tell you what. Look at this. My gorgeous Virgolinis, this is like in between the 19th and the 22nd of April. You have been patient for quite a while. And in fact, there was something that was really kind of like making you so worried over the last 25 days in particular. So now you are, there you go. It's the Seven of Wands. Look at this. Very, very important to mention that, you know, this is like this is to do with like basically that you had the patience so far, and it's something that you were worrying about so much over the last 25 days, but it's to do with you having patience. It's to do with you being patient. So now what is going to happen in between the 19th and the 22nd, there is going to be very interesting sign that you are going to have. Very personal sign. You could like basically, there could be 10 of you, and you are facing the same direction, and you are the only one who will be able to read this sign. You will be the only one who will be able to notice this sign. You will be the only one who will be able to be aware of this sign. And that in itself, that sign is going to be very important. Number sevens are also going to prepare you before that happens. Number 777, number 333, number 0107. You know, these are the combinations of numbers that you're going to see. You may not, but you may, through the power of synchronicity. I see this strongly, that before you have this sign, there are the certain numbers that are going to kind of prepare you this, and that sign is going to mean to you so much. This is going to be really personal, but it's going to make you aware of a little change in your life, that you have got something, you've got like the necessary experience. You thought that you need more of this, more of that. No, baby, no. You are fully prepared to leave the certain situation behind and just move on with this life. One of the from this moment onwards, this is going to in fact going to lead towards you making one of the biggest decisions of your life, because you got everything what you need in order to move on. And this sign is going to make you aware of this. It's very important. So it's all to do with like a bringing together things, to bring things into a perfect union. It's to do with the management in your life, and it's also to do with like kind of realizing which adjustment to make through someone who is very influential in your life in the best possible way. This in itself is going to happen at a time when you're going to feel so brave, and your own bravery is going to make you aware of your own capacity, and that in itself is going to show you the future opportunities ahead. You're going to become aware of very important coming events that you should be part of indeed. And this is to do with like the actual new people that are going to start walking into your life after this moment in time, and it's to do with very important plans when it comes to the actual long term. It's all about the hope and faith and important inspiration in terms of very bright prospects that you need to pay attention to, that are going to become obvious in between the 19th and the 22nd of April. So it's all about you following that optimism, but being aware that you're going to mix something from the past and present in order to get the full picture going, the way you want, the way you need, the way you wish your life to be. It's all about the optimism, fulfillment and satisfaction satisfaction that you're going to feel, but also at the same time you are going to overcome very important obstacle. And it's all about you also at the same time realizing that you can overcome absolutely everything. You are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. The third date, my gorgeous Virgolinis, it's going to be on the 30th of April. Okay, you will become aware of a really weird aspect here. So the 30th of April is going to bring you a really weird aspect, and that in itself is actually going to have an unusual effect on you, because this aspect would normally get you worried, but now it's going to inspire you even more. How much do you actually want to change your life? Because it's going to lead towards you feeling very creative, and it's also like going to be connected to some kind of like a new beginning in terms of the actual this is also going to start the process of like the birth of something very important here. It's to do with the beginning of a meaningful experience, but it's also to do with an important adventure, which is by the end of the actual day on the 30th of April. It's actually going to make you feel so determined, and it's going to again pinpoint that initiative in your life that it's actually giving you strength. And yet again, very strong confirmation of what actual aspect of your life gives you life. What aspect of your life makes you feel alive again? What aspect of your life makes you feel good? You know, it's all to do with the deep emotional feeling, but also just following it, because you will not want to kind of like be part of the certain crisis again. You will not want to be the part of the certain conflict again. You will not want to be dominated again. These are all feelings that you are going to be on your mind, and then at the same time you will become aware of the exact change and the exact alteration that you're going to need to make, because you will not want your life to be unstable anymore. This is the 30th of April. It's also the beginning of an important transformation, because the whole new fresh new way of living is about to emerge for you, my gorgeous Virgolinis. Important so much. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Virgolinis, I'm just going to see briefly what is going to happen in the first part of April, mid part of April, and the last part of April. So the first part of April, you know, just like a kind of like to be aware in the first part of April, be aware of other people's actions, because you're going to need that later. Okay, just remember that, to be aware of other people's actions, because that is something that you're going to need later on. The mid part of April is just to basically remember, this is so important when it comes to planning for the long term, but also at the same time there is a certain abundance from past choices that you are going to have. So this is going to make you feel really good, but it's also going to make you aware of the certain timing, and also remember to be patient as you decide what to do next. Don't let anyone to rush you into absolutely anything. The last part of April, my gorgeous Virgolinis, is just basically there is so much that you're also going to discover through the actual meditation. When it comes to your true soul's desire, there is something that is going to come to you just out of the blue, whether this is going to be through meditation, or whether this is going to be when you're chilling out and you're like relaxing and you're drifting away, and then you're just in that meditation state. Very important energy, very important dimension that we find so beneficial. A lot is going to come to you, because it's something to do with your own true soul desire, but it's going to happen to you when you least expect it. It's going to happen, it's going to kind of give you the certain wisdom, and it's also going to help you to develop a very kind of important intuitive gifts, you know. And you need to remember to trust yourself here again. Your true desire will be highlighted here, and you will know exactly what I mean. So now, my gorgeous Virgolinis, I'm just going to see what is going to happen for those of you in relationship when it comes to April. You know, you are in for something really big. You're in for something really huge. The couples, like, oh my God, this month things are going to start moving on. This month you are going to achieve so much as a couple. And you know, because a lot was happening, a lot was going on, and you had to put certain plans on the side, and you were just like like kind of like it drains so much out of your energy, because the plans that I'm talking about, my gorgeous Virgolinis, are super important for you and for your partner. This means absolutely everything for you too. So it's not only like just any plans, this is big. So now suddenly you are gonna start moving on in the right direction. It's like, again, hallelujah, because of that information that you're going to hear, and that information is going to allow you to flow freely when it comes to your life, but most importantly to allow yourself to float towards the stage that you want to be on. And you have to trust yourself, you know, because it's pretty much so by the end of this month, you know, you are both gonna be wondering about something like making a really big step, really big move. But now the answer to this is you must trust yourself, because you're doing the right thing. It's to do with the plans that makes you feel alive again, both of you. Just follow this vibration. It's gonna make your life completely different to what it is now, and you will see exactly what I mean, because by the time you get to the actual September and October 2022, you will see the maximum impact of everything that what I was talking about right now. So for those of you who are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Virgolinis, there are a couple of stages that you are going to have. First of all, you're going to come across someone really bizarre and really strange this month. And I'm saying this because you're going to like someone, and then you will realize, oh God, you know, there was a lot of special, it's going to be about that person, a lot of like a special energy, special vibration. But again, your subconscious mind is going to be like kind of like trying to make you aware of something, but you will still be ignoring it, because there are going to be so many other things like that you're going to be like, I like it, but then again at the same time you will this is all part of the little challenge, and it's all part of the little test, because you will think you will kind of fancy this person, but you will feel something is not right at the back of your mind, but you will ignore it because you will think that this is the part of the change that you are going through. And then very soon after, at around the mid-April, I would say that you're going to realize that that person is not who they are. That person is somebody else, and then you will realize how much more powerful you are than that person. Spiritually, I couldn't put you two together, because it's like no baby no, it's like oh my God, it's like no baby no, you know, spiritually no way. And you will know what I mean. So first of all, you're going to realize who this is, and then something really interesting is going to take place by the end of the month. Someone very interesting, it's about to enter your life by the end of the month, you know, and these are only going to be the beginning stages of someone very interesting, someone very powerful, someone very confident, someone very wise, someone very clever. But also these are only going to be the beginning stages of you realizing that person. And I can see that first of all, you're not going to realize how much you like them and how much you fancy them, but it's going to take a time, because with this one it's going to be special. This one you will know first, you will become more like a friendly first, and then later you're going to be like, ooh la la darling, you know. But then, you know, it's one step at a time. Those relationships are the best, and you will see exactly what I mean. Okay, so first we're going to be like a friendly, and then one step at a time, you know, you're just going to be like, ooh, you're gorgeous, ooh, you are gorgeous, oh my God, you know, you're going to fall in love with each other, like along the way, through things that you do, through the energy that you project, exactly how it should be. So this one is going to be very, very special indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.